Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever part of the world you in. I just want to leave a few message. This is the Book of Ecclesiastes. It says here, fulfill your vow to God. Okay, it's telling us right here, guard your steps when you go to the house of God. Go near to listen rather than offer a sacrifice of fools who do not know that they are doing wrong. Do not be quick with the mouth. Do not be hasty in your words, in your heart, to utter anything before God. God is in heaven, and you are on earth. So let your words be few, and dream comes when there are many cares, and many words mark the speech of fools. Notice that it's saying that many people who talk a lot, they don't do enough. They speak like fools because they speak out of their mouth, not of knowledge. Now it says here, when you make a vow to God, do not delay to fulfill it. He has no pleasure in fools. Fulfill your vow. It is better not to make vow than to make one and not fulfill it. Do not let your mouth lead you into sin, and do not protest to the temple messenger. Sorry, my vow was mistake. That should God be angry at what you say and destroy the work of your hand. Much dreaming or many words are meaningless. Therefore, fear God. What is it saying to me is speak less and listen more. There's a lot of people that make promises and they basically break them. We break promises every day to people, which is very sad because your word is your bond. That's how I look at it. A man, word is his bond. If you cannot keep your word, then you're just like a fool and it means nothing. You're meaningless, basically. You know, a lot of people make like relationships too. When you get married, it's for better or for worse. When it gets worse, someone usually leaves. And a lot of time, everything in a relationship is a test. Unless someone is causing you total harm, and you make a promise and you break it, it's unpleasing to God. So this is what they're saying here in the book of Ecclesiastes. It says here, 5, guard your steps when you go to the house of the Lord, of God. Basically, do not be quick with your mouth. Do not be hasty in your heart to utter anything before God in heaven. He's in heaven, you're on earth. So basically, he knows. So don't basically say something you're not going to do. It's better not to say it if you're not going to do it. And that's what the problem we have today. There's so much people that's making promises to their family, to, their kids, and they're breaking the promises. And when you break promises, you're not only breaking promises to the person, but you're also breaking the promises to God, because God says, a man will disappoint you. And this is why we should speak less. If we know we're not going to basically fulfill whatever we said to the person, then we don't need to say it. Me personally, I don't make a promise unless I think I can accomplish it. The only way I would not accomplish something is if I have no control over it whatsoever. But 90% of the time, we have controls of the things that we do. We can't control what's around us, but we can control what we do. And most of the time, the people who break promises is people who actually break the promises on their own. It has nothing to do with what's going around them. They say it because at the time it sounds good. And when you make promise to someone, you give them that hope and trust that you will do it. And eventually they don't do it. Promises people make in a relationship, I will be there for you always. I mean, we're all going to die one day. To me, if you make a promise and you're still alive and you don't fulfill it, it's selfish. Don't make a promise if you're not going to keep it. And this is exactly what the book of Ecclesiastes is teaching us. Fulfill your vow to God. Saying something to God, promising God you'll be a better person, you won't steal anymore, you'll be a good husband, you'll be a good wife, you'll be a good teacher, whatever it is that you promise God that you're going to do, you need to keep to your promise. Because God gets angry when we make promises to him and we don't keep it, but yet we want him to keep the promises that he said to us, that he gave to us in the book. This book here is the book of to guide you in your life. It's the book of truth. Someone said, there's a lot of things in the Bible that's misconstrued. It's not misconstrued. What is happening is when your faith and your spirit is not connected to God, you cannot read what the word is really saying. When you read in a spiritual way, you see things differently than a person is not in a spiritual place of God. So 2 different 3, 4, 5, 6 people can read the same verse and not get the same answer. And that's because knowledge and understanding comes with spiritual. If you don't have that, when you read it, you won't understand what you're reading. So don't be ace to make promises to God and break them. Don't be ace to make promises to people and not keep them, because what goes around does come back around. And unlike human, you make a mistake, we get hurt. With God, he turned his back on you. When he turned his back on you, your whole world will fall apart. Everything will change. So don't be a fool and be ace to open your mouth and speak. Be wise and wait and listen. Before you open your mouth, make a promise to God. Make sure you can keep a promise to yourself. Most people do not even keep promises to themselves. So if you can't keep a promise to yourself, don't make a promise to someone else. Because I know a lot of people around me that say they're going to do stuff and they don't do it. If you can't keep a promise to yourself, I know you will not keep a promise to nobody else. You know, so be a good person. Be a good person. Let your word be your bond. If you cannot do it, don't say it. It's that simple. I hope this message gets to someone, because I know someone needs to hear this. I know there's people make promises to us and they break them to you, to whoever. You could have been the one that made the promise to someone didn't keep it. After a while, if you have a conscience, that will build up inside of you. You start feeling guilty. Me personally, like I said, I always try. Whatever I say, I will do, unless I have no control over what's going on around. But if I make a promise, I will keep it. Be a promise keeper, because we want God to give us all the things that he said he will do, so we have to do the same thing. Live more in Christ. I hope this message gets to a person. Like I said, if you know someone that needs to hear this, share this message with them. Share this video with them, okay? We're not here to please ourselves. We're here to please God. And until we start doing that, our life will be a circle. I want to give God, give him the glory. Without him, you're nothing. We're just bones and flesh, walking around. The difference, the spiritual connection we have with God, that's what makes us more of humans. There's human and there's being human. Some of us are not being human. We're just humans. And some of us, it's very sad to say that I see the things that's going on in the world. I'm very sad. And I pray every day for God to help us, because all of us are lost sheep, and some of us find ourselves quicker than others. But if you want to turn back the things you have done, is commit yourself to God. Start fasting and pray and ask him to pull you out of this dark place you're in. And I guarantee that you will be in a better place. You will be happy here on earth. That you're supposed to be, you'll be at peace. I'm at peace and it feels good. I can't explain it enough. You don't worry that much. You don't think that much, because you know what? God has your back. There's some things you can't change because you have no control of it. But God has the power to change stuff. And when he's ready, we'll do it. Trust me. Tomorrow I'm going to make a video. Today is Friday. Tomorrow is Friday. Today is Thursday. And I have this big thing going on tomorrow. Today is the 27th. Tomorrow I'm going to make a video and I'm going to let you know what happened. I'm going to share the goodness of God with you guys about it. So stay blessed. May God continue to watch over you and your family. May he find a place in your heart to give you a peace and a serenity and a clarity of mind, a sound mind, so you can be able to find him. Have a good day. Bye.